Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. In the journey of life, we often find ourselves standing at a crossroads, one path worn by old patterns, conditioned responses, and inherited pain. The other, the uncertain road towards self-awareness, healing, and true freedom. This moment is more than a mere choice. It is the gateway to transformation. Most of us live trapped in unconscious cycles. We replay the same stories, hand down the same wounds, and unknowingly inflict pain on ourselves and others. We call it fate, or just how life is, but in truth, it is the unseen script written by the shadow parts of our psyche. Carl Jung, the pioneer of modern psychology, revealed a profound truth. The shadows we refuse to face will continue to control us. Until we bring them into the light, they will shape our reactions, our decisions, and ultimately, our destiny. Imagine carrying an invisible weight, the unresolved pain from your past, the anger you were told to hide, the fear that you never named. This weight colors every interaction, every thought, every breath. It leaks energy, drains joy, and stifles your true self. But what if you could stop? What if you could pause the endless cycle and choose a new story, one where you reclaim your power and rewrite your fate? This is the essence of transformation, not through force, guilt, or rage, but through awareness. Awareness is the key that unlocks the cage of unconsciousness. When you see your patterns clearly, they no longer own you, you own them. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about being honest. You adapted to survive, but now those adaptations have become chains, limiting your growth and harming your relationships. The moment you recognize this is the moment you step into true freedom. Jung called this process individuation. It is the psychological journey of becoming your real self, not the version molded by survival or others' approval, but the authentic, whole you. Individuation starts with one powerful choice: to stop living on autopilot, to bring awareness where there was amnesia, to name what drains you instead of pretending it's normal, to see manipulation for what it is, a betrayal of your own boundaries. This awakening demands courage. It demands that you stop giving away your energy to toxic dynamics, fake peace, and the expectations of others who see only what you give, not who you truly are. It is time to draw your line to say, "This does not serve me anymore," and then to mean it. This is the moment where transformation begins, not with dramatic gestures or shouting from the rooftops, but with quiet clarity and intentional action. It is a reclamation of power from the inside out. The path will not always be smooth. People will test your boundaries. Old systems of control will resist. But you will stand firm, grounded in the knowledge that real power is quiet, steady, and invisible. In this video series, we will explore the 7 essential steps to reclaiming your energy and sovereignty. We will dive deep into the wisdom of Jung, the dynamics of energy, and practical strategies to break toxic cycles. Because this is not just about survival anymore. This is about rebirth, about becoming who you truly are. Are you ready to begin? To reclaim your power, the first battle is fought in awareness. Most of us drift through life like sleepwalkers, unaware of the subtle energy leaks that siphon our vitality and dim our inner light. This is the invisible theft of the soul, the slow, silent bleed of energy into relationships, habits, and patterns that no longer serve us. Imagine a wellspring of water, pure, clear, abundant. Now picture a crack in the vessel, slowly leaking that precious water drop by drop. You don't notice at first. You keep filling the vessel, hoping the well will never run dry. But over time, the leak grows, and the well is left empty. This is what happens when we ignore the emotional and energetic drains around us. We accept mockery, disguised as jokes, invalidation masked as concern, gaslighting dressed up as confusion. We explain away the exhaustion, the silent withdrawals, the subtle manipulations, telling ourselves, "It's just stress," or "They didn't mean it." But when something drains you, warps you, or silences you, it matters. Naming these invisible drains is the first act of rebellion against unconscious surrender. It is the declaration that you refuse to be a silent victim anymore. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." If you cannot name the manipulations, the betrayals, the toxic dynamics, they will continue to run your life under the radar. Awareness is power. The moment you call a pattern by its true name, manipulation, self-betrayal, fear, you take back the control that fear had stolen. This awareness requires brutal honesty. It means looking at your own adaptations without judgment. You learn to survive by adapting, by people-pleasing, by shrinking, by silencing your pain. But those very adaptations have become the chains that bind you to repeated patterns of pain. This is why Jung warned against the false mask of emotional maturity, the pretense of being fine, when inside you are quietly bleeding energy. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to be honest. So where do you start? You start by observing yourself, your reactions, your exhaustion, your moments of withdrawal. What triggers your silence? When do you feel invisible or small? What behaviors around you cause you to flinch or tighten your boundaries silently? These are not signs of weakness. They are your inner compass pointing toward what must change. The practice of awareness is a daily act. It is the quiet decision to stop justifying behaviors that feel off, to stop pretending that the exhausting cycle is normal. Call it what it is. Call it manipulation. Call it self-betrayal. Call it fear running the show. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that is your power. Awareness clears the fog of confusion. It allows you to stop handing others the siphon to your energy. But awareness alone is not enough. It must be paired with boundaries, the sacred declarations of what you will no longer tolerate. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates you control. Gates that say, this does not enter here. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. You need one honest sentence. That doesn't work for me. I am not available for that kind of conversation. If this happens again, I won't stay. People will flinch. Some will leave. Let them. Because boundaries don't push away love, they filter out harm. When you set boundaries, you reclaim your energy from the unconscious patterns that once drained you. This is where the real work begins. In the next part, we will explore how to integrate your real self, the anger, the desires, the shame, not to act them out destructively, but to hold them with honesty and integrity. This is the path of true healing, the path of wholeness over perfection. Because when you own your contradictions without crumbling, you reclaim your energy and your sovereignty. Now that you have begun to see the unseen, the subtle energy drains, the invisible betrayals, the next step is deeper and far more transformative. Integration. Integration means no longer performing a polished, acceptable version of yourself for the world. It means no longer wearing masks that hide your true feelings, desires, or contradictions. It means reclaiming every piece of your fractured self, including the parts you've been taught to reject. Imagine you've spent years building a statue. It's beautiful, shining, and admired by many. But inside, the statue is hollow. Cracks run deep beneath the surface. The statue is a facade. Integration means breaking that statue apart, not to destroy, but to rebuild it from the inside out, with raw, unfiltered parts that have been hidden in shadows. It is the alchemy of turning your broken pieces into your most authentic power. Carl Jung said, "I'd rather be whole than good." This is the essence of integration. You are not whole because you are calm all the time. You are whole when you can hold your anger without exploding, your shame without hiding, your desires without shame or guilt. You don't suppress, deny, or explain away these parts, you own them. This is energy mastery. And it looks nothing like the world's idea of control or charisma. It's about containment, holding your full complexity without leaking your energy, trying to prove yourself, explain your pain, or manage others' reactions. Energy mastery means you stop giving away pieces of yourself to anyone who demands proof of your worth or understanding of your pain. You keep what is yours, speak when it matters, and walk away from what does not honor you. It is not a sudden transformation. It is a painstaking, day-by-day process. One pattern at a time, one no at a time, one breath where you refuse to abandon yourself. This is how you reclaim your sovereignty. Imagine Daniel, a man who grew up conditioned to perform strength, to hide vulnerability. For years, he tolerated mockery, gaslighting, and silent betrayals, wearing a mask to survive. But Daniel reached his breaking point. Instead of reacting with rage or guilt, he responded with awareness. He began naming the patterns. He set boundaries with calm honesty. He integrated his anger, owning it without losing control. He stopped leaking energy into fake peace and toxic dynamics. He stopped performing his best self and started being his real self. And slowly, Daniel became dangerous not to others, but to the toxic systems that thrived on his silence and compliance. This is your path too. But be warned, integration brings power, and power attracts resistance. People who benefited from your silence will test your boundaries. They will throw guilt, confusion, charm, and silence, trying to pull you back into old patterns. They do not do this because they are evil. They do it because they are used to the way things were, because your breaking free threatens their system. That is why integration requires strategy. It requires that you never argue when your reality is twisted. Don't defend or explain. Hold the frame with calm clarity. We see this differently. I know what I felt. Or, if my emotions are up for debate, this conversation can't continue. Then walk away if disrespected. Control the frame. The person who defines the terms of the conversation holds the power. You will learn to mask your triggers. Emotional manipulators feed on your reactions. They bait you to flinch. Don't flinch. Don't explain. Let their manipulations pass like water off a leaf. This is containment. This is mastery. Integration is not easy. It means owning your contradictions, standing in your truth, and protecting your energy like the treasure it is. But this is the path to wholeness. In the next part, we will explore the practical rules you need to embody this power, how to hold your center unshakable, play the long game, and wield quiet but unstoppable strength. Because the journey is just beginning. You've begun the journey. You see the shadows, the patterns, and the masks. You are integrating your true self, owning your anger, shame, and desires instead of hiding or performing. But now comes the harder part. Holding your ground in a world designed to shrink you. The moment you draw a line and say, I refuse to be shrunk, you become dangerous. Not to others, but to the systems, to the people, and to the old versions of yourself that thrived on your silence and compliance. Because power attracts resistance. People who relied on your energy, emotional vampires, toxic enablers, manipulators, they will test your boundaries. They will guilt trip you, confuse you, charm you, or retreat into silence, hoping to pull you back into old, comfortable scripts. But you don't respond with rage or pleading. You respond with strategy. Here are the rules, 7 rules to keep your energy sacred and your boundaries unbreakable. Rule 1. Never argue, redefine the frame. When someone tries to twist your reality, telling you that you're overreacting, too sensitive, or remembering it wrong, don't argue, don't defend, don't explain. Why? Because arguing hands over your power. Instead, calmly hold the frame. Say, we see this differently. I know what I felt. Or better yet, if my emotions are up for debate, then we can't have a real conversation. And then, stop talking. You don't win by convincing them. You win by holding your frame, your truth, and walking away if it's disrespected. The one who defines the terms of the conversation holds the power. Rule 2. Don't reveal where it hurts, mask your triggers. Manipulators watch closely for your reactions. They throw their bait mockery, invalidation, silent treatment, trying to see where you flinch. But the moment you flinch, they've won. So don't flinch. Don't correct. Don't explain. Let their attacks slide off like rain on a lotus leaf. Watch what happens next. They might escalate, confused by your silence. Or they might retreat, losing their hold. Either way, you've taken their playbook away. Rule 3. Keep a layer they can't touch, protect your mystery. You are not an open book. People don't need to know every piece of your healing, every boundary, every insecurity. Because when they know what matters most to you without earning that access, they hold a lever to pull. Control your information. Reserve mystery. Never be fully decoded. Protect your energy by keeping parts of yourself sacred and inaccessible. Rule 4. Use strategic detachment. If someone treats you coldly, withholds attention, or acts passive-aggressive, don't chase. Mirror their energy calmly, then pull away, quietly, without drama. You're not punishing them. You're letting them feel the weight of your absence. Often, people learn the value of your presence only when it's gone. You don't owe explanations for protecting your peace. Let distance speak louder than confrontation ever could. Rule 5. Never threaten, move in silence. Stop broadcasting your limits with warnings. If you do this again, I'm gone. That's noise. The moment you threaten, manipulators test you. Instead, say nothing, just act. They don't need warnings, they need consequences. Want real power? Don't predict your exit. Execute it. Rule 6. Keep your center unshakable. They will mock you. They will guilt you. They will gaslight you. Use your past against you. Play the victim. Let them. The second you argue your worth or reality, you lose. You're not here to win debates. You're here to protect your center. Let your silence disarm. Let your presence interrupt. Let your boundaries redefine relationships, no negotiations. The strongest move you'll ever make is to stay grounded when they try to shake your ground beneath you. Rule 7. Play the long game. Sometimes, the best way to see someone clearly is to step back. Stop texting first. Stop explaining your boundaries. Stop giving second chances like coupons. Give it space. Watch who checks in. Watch who respects your silence. Watch who adjusts and who doubles down on disrespect. Distance is clarity. Clarity is everything. You don't always need closure. Sometimes, you just need a quiet exit and your dignity intact. This is the framework of energy sovereignty, the secret rules of power few understand but everyone feels. Master these rules, and you don't just survive, you thrive. Because power is quiet, but real power, it's invisible.